So, Robin, it is toy buying season, and there are so many choices. There are so many ads. There's so much stuff out there. I mean, some of the stuff isn't that great. But what if there was an alternative? What if it was a toy that also encouraged creativity, had educational benefits? What if it was something that you and your kids could really enjoy and learn from?
Yeah, and what if it had no plastic and was 100% recyclable? Playper comes in 3 steps. You pop out these pieces, and kids love this part, and you build these toys. And this is where the STEM learning comes in. Kids learn to follow the instructions, and they learn how to construct a simple toy. And then they play with these toys, and they have silly characters with full and rich and silly backstories.
And we love silliness. We know that. I was really amazed about how durable these toys were. I don't have little kids anymore, but I work with little kids all the time. There is one set that is called the Curious Kingdom Story Starters. I love this. I am going to make use of this in my practice. There are cards that have a person, a place, and a thing. Kids choose the card and then create their own stories. It's about using imagination. It's about developing conversation, about being playful. It has all of the things that really help kids as they're learning and growing. I'll tell you, this is going to be a great tool for me. And I was amazed at how durable these toys are. They're not paper or even flimsy cardboard. They have a beautiful feel and they are amazingly high quality.
Playper has won several awards even in the short time it's existed, including a Gold Mom's Choice Award, a Creative Play of the Year Award, a National Parenting Award, and it's also an accredited STEAM toy. Playper is giving you a special discount to get these adorable toys, and you can get 25% off any order with the promo code Fluster at playper.com. And on top of that, you'll receive free shipping through Christmas.
So go to PLAYPER.com and use code FLUSTER for 25% off with free shipping through December 25th. Your child will love these toys. Consistency in the reactions, consistency in being able to say, this is what we expect, this is what we're going to do, not consistency in meeting her every need.
Welcome to Season 6 of Flusterclux with Lynn Lyons, where we talk about a family's anxiety and all the big feelings, too. We tackle the serious stuff without being too serious, and I'm your co-host, Robin. I'm Lynn's sister-in-law, and I'm here to ask your questions.
And I'm Lynn Lyons. I'm an anxiety expert, speaker, mom, and author, and I've been a therapist for over 30 years. Parenting can be a Flusterclux, and I'm here to help you find your way. I'll give you concrete steps to take and the words to say. So, Robin, we've got another bonus episode here, and this is a listener question that really is such a common issue for parents, and it's about walking on eggshells. Let me preface this by saying on social media, there's this thing going around called eggshell parenting. And what that is referring to is, were you raised by somebody whose emotionally erratic behavior was difficult for you? This is not what we're talking about today, although that's a really good topic also. What we're talking about and what this listener question is talking about is the parent is walking on eggshells around the child because the child has big emotional reactions.
I'll read the listener question right now that prompted this episode.
Okay.
I've listened to your podcast with close attention to the 7 Anxiety Busters series. I think I understand the idea of getting out of the content, but my 9-year-old has had a challenging temperament since she was about 2. She has major screaming, stomping, and meltdowns lasting 30 to 40 minutes. We have definitely spent years doing the disorder. We've had a standing weekly breakfast menu for years. That way she would know what to expect each morning for breakfast and we could avoid a morning tantrum. We've had her choose her clothes for each day of the week, again, minimizing the struggle to find comfortable clothes in the morning to minimize, you guessed it, a tantrum. We string lights in her room, use a sound machine, and sometimes play calming music or meditation to help her get to sleep because she's scared of being in her room alone. And we want to avoid the predictable tantrum that happens when we tell her we're not going to lie down with her tonight. She's refused to participate in classes she enjoys because she has missed what she felt was a critical class or two, and she screams at us if she doesn't get her way. And when I try to talk to her about her worry and naming it and practicing working with it, forget about it. Needless to say, I'm at a loss. I am way over my head, and after 6 years of this, I am exhausted. I know I have anxiety, and I'm sure I telegraph my fears to my kids daily, and I'm working on it. Please help.
Okay, so I bet a lot of people can relate to this. There are a few things that jump out at me with this. And one is that we don't have to go at this from an all or nothing perspective. There's definitely rigidity here, and she's had a difficult temperament. I don't know if she's been assessed for other things, if there's any other things going on. But we don't have to go at this in this all or nothing sort of like, we're going to stop this behavior, boom, because it's been going on for a long time, and it's what she knows, and it's what you know. When you're thinking about this, the key word is consistency. And the second key word, well, it's more a key phrase, the ability to tolerate her big emotions and to support her through getting to the other side. It sounds like, if I'm hearing this correctly, is that right now the goal is to avoid a tantrum because it lasts for a long time, because it doesn't really change things, because it disrupts the whole family, and, as Mom, you said, you're exhausted. What you want to think about is how can you begin to consistently, with love and support, be able to tolerate her big reactions without you feeling as if it's your job to stop them, fix them, prevent them, and avoid them.
When you have mentioned consistency, this mom and many other moms might say, well, I am being consistent. We have the menu. We have all of these things predictable. Differentiate for them where the consistency should be and where the consistency shouldn't be.
That is a fabulous point. That's why Robin is here. Yeah, so if I say you need to be consistent, you're right. The mom would be like, we are consistent. We give her exactly 4.5 ounces of orange juice. Like, I'm so consistent. So consistency in the reactions, consistency in being able to say, this is what we expect, this is what we're going to do, not consistency in meeting her every need. I will just tell you, my younger son, when he was little, would have these temper tantrums because he was 2. He lacked emotional management skills, and we used to call him the London air raid siren because he would go, wah, like that. And I would say to him, I understand right now that you're really upset. I get it. I am not going to say yes to the thing you want. So I will stand here and wait until you're ready or whatever. But I would hold the line. But I would say to him, no matter how much you scream, no matter how much you yell, no matter how much you throw yourself on the floor, I am going to stand here and I am not going to give you the blank. So you start that when they're 2, and that's a very common thing for toddlers to be engaged in, right? I mean, this is how they're figuring out the world. This child, Mom said there's a difficult temperament, but it is not too late to start to very clearly and consistently lay out to her that this is what we're going to do and this is what we're not going to do. This is where I can compromise and this is where I can't compromise. We don't meet rigidity with more rigidity. But to say to her, I know you're going to be upset. I love you. I understand, but I am not going to do the thing that you want me to do. I will help you manage these big feelings. So I will sit with you, or you can go in your room, or you can hang out with me, and I will help you with these big feelings. The goal is, what you're trying to do is show her through your relationship and behaviorally that when she goes up to that place and she has a temper tantrum, that you can hang out there with her until she begins to bring herself down. Now, I don't know if this mom with her 9-year-old daughter has ever seen her daughter do that. Because one of the things that happens sometimes is parents will say, well, she's not capable of doing that, or I've never seen her be able to do that. So, Mom, you might want to think, are there situations or are there circumstances in which your daughter has shown you that she does have that ability or that she's working on developing that ability? So an example might be, say that you say no about something, or she's upset, something's not going her way, and she is having a full-on screaming, yelling temper tantrum, and then a friend walks in. Or it's time to do another activity and she is able to pull herself together. That is evidence to you that she is capable of working on this skill. Not that she has it, but that she's capable of working on this skill, that she's capable of doing this. if you can begin to let her ride it out a little bit. This is not abandonment. It's not rejection. It's not stiff-arming her. It's not sending her away. It's not punishing her. It's about very consistently saying, this is what we can do or not do, and I will tolerate you being upset. I will be here, and we are going to work on you being able to get yourself back to where you need to be. If this is about primarily anxiety, and I don't know if there are other sensory issues or things that are going on, but even so, if this is primarily about anxiety, this is about her not being able to tolerate in a flexible way things not going the way that she expects. And that's what you really want to allow her to do. We want her to see, we want her to experience that she can actually handle when things don't go the way she wants them to go. Because right now she thinks I can't handle it. And the only way that I can get myself together is if the people around me then do what I need to do. So you are giving her the message that she needs the people around her to be as rigid as she is. And we don't want to give her that message.
We're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Lynn, you'd be so proud of me. I have been training and lifting weights and working out with consistency for quite a few months again. And boy, do I feel fantastic.
I say this all the time. The research is really clear. The benefits are really clear. If you're looking to help your mood, to make you just feel better in so many ways, a regular exercise workout routine is a must.
I love having virtual personal training with Copilot. It is a personalized fitness solution and every individual is unique. So your fitness journey would look different from mine, but Copilot has an app that links you with affordable real life coaches who customize your workouts and they tailor them to your individual needs and goals. And it's so great for the accountability factor and also just the human connection of working out with your Copilot.
Yeah, and there's flexibility too. I mean, you and I both travel a lot, and if you're committed to working out on a regular basis, you need to be able to do it where you are. And Copilot gives you that flexibility, and you can work out with or without a gym.
That's so key.
So key for so many people. I mean, how many times have I been in a hotel room and I need to figure out a way to get my workout in?
It's also just so great to know that you can go to a gym and have somebody tell you what to do, because that's where I'm at.
That's the other thing too, is that having that accountability, having somebody there that tells you what to do, that lays out a plan for you. I mean, really, it is so important for you to feel like you've got information and knowledge and support and accountability. And that's what Copilot provides for you.
I'd love it if our listeners followed my lead and they got fit to feel fabulous too. So give Copilot a try to find out why it was listed by Forbes as the top rated personal trainer app of 2023. So head to go.mycopilot.com/Flusterclux. And then you'll get a 14-day free trial and 20% off your first month of personalized fitness with your own personal trainer if you sign up before February 1st, 2024.
That's go.mycopilot.com/Flusterclux to get a free 14-day trial and 20% off your first month. Sign up for the new year and let Copilot help you reach your fitness goals.
We have a link in the show notes that will make it super easy to sign up.
Okay, we're back.
So Lynn, when you talk about the parents needing consistency, this is what I sort of realized as you were saying this. Ultimately, this 9-year-old daughter with more social emotional education and practice recognizes that her anxiety part, her rigid part, her volatile part is showing up. And the mom is modeling the reaction that ultimately in time the daughter is capable of doing.
Correct.
Like that's the way to think of it. And that's why when you talk about externalizing and breaking it up into parts, it can be so helpful for kids to understand this is the part of them showing up. And I'm going to show you how I'm reacting to that part of you so that you can see what that can look like. And this is something you can learn to do with practice.
Right. Because this is emotional management. And so when a child is very reactive and a child is having these big temper tantrums, if the parents respond in a way that sends a message, usually not on purpose and not explicitly, but is sending a message that says, I can't handle these big emotions either. So my child is having these big emotions and we need to get rid of them. We need to do something to get rid of them. The parent is saying, this is too much for me. Now the child is probably already feeling this is too much for them. It doesn't feel good to be so emotionally out of control. And so if the parent is saying, none of us in this family can handle these big emotions, we have to do things to make sure she doesn't have these emotions, then the message to the child is these aren't manageable emotions. These aren't able to be tolerated. I'm not able to work through this. And that's not the message that we want to give kids.
So coming full circle, the walking on eggshells pattern that parents can get caught into really easily. It's so easy to see how this happens. They're very exhausted, overextended, and you just want the drama to stop. You just want quiet. You just want peace. And instead, you're saying, don't be afraid to let the drama show up. And then we're going to all practice tolerating the drama so that then our child learns to tolerate the drama voice that shows up. Knowing that this mom said she's so exhausted and that she's really tried, she's also recognized that she's been doing the disorder for a long time. I bet she would love a pep talk from you right now, as would many others who resonate with this.
Yep. So the first thing is, don't feel like you need to keep talking about this in the context of worry. If that doesn't resonate with your daughter, you can call it anything you want. You can call it volcano. You can call it Tina tantrum. You can call it whatever you want. If when you talk about it in terms of worry and anxiety, if your daughter says, no, don't worry about that. You want to talk to her about the part of her that gets big and loud and out of control, whatever language works for her that she recognizes. So that's the first thing. It's okay if you don't use the worry language. The other thing too is that you want to talk to your daughter about this ahead of time. You want to let her know that we've been going down this highway and we're going to be taking an exit off this highway and we're going to be taking an alternative route. You don't just want to spring it on her in the middle. This is the front loading I talk about. You want to lay it out and you want to say to her, look, we've got this pattern going on that you have these big emotions and we've really worked to try and make sure you don't have tantrums. And I think it's kind of backfiring. And so what I really want to teach you now is how to feel these big emotions and then get through them and how to manage things more flexibly. This would be a really, really great family to do that exercise of what was the unexpected thing that happened to you today and how did you manage it? I would also have you do the wall of flexibility. When she handles something that doesn't go her way, when she doesn't get what she wants and she manages it, I would love that to be acknowledged as a really important value so that she can hear that and see that from you. This is going to take time. There's also something called an extinction burst, which I tend to call an extinction explosion, which means that when you change your pattern, Mom, she is not going to go quietly into that good night with her sound machine on. She is going to get pissed. How dare you change the rules? Remember, you have trained her that these are the rules, and now we're going to change the rules. She needs warning. She needs support. She needs consistency, and you need to tolerate these big emotions. Don't do it all at once. Pick a few things that you want to pull back on. The reason parents accommodate is because it works in the short term. So you don't have to beat yourself up. You got new information. You're learning new things. 9 is a great age for you to begin to talk to her about these concepts.
I remember your little volcano.
Mm-hmm. My little air raid siren.
Yes. He was adorable then, and he's still adorable.
Yes, and he's not an air raid siren anymore. So,
no, he's not.
He's like the steadiest guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
No matter what temperament they kind of come into it with, practice and work, a lot of people can shift.
Remember, if you have a toddler, this is what they do because they don't have emotional management skills. They don't come that way. They're supposed to yell to get your attention when they're babies. And then as they mature, then we teach them alternatives. So hang in there, Mom. Hang in there. Thanks for listening. And if you found this podcast helpful, please give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps other people find this information.
And if you'd like to dig deeper on any of these topics, we have specialized playlists on our Spotify profile, and the link is in the show notes. Topics like teens, depression, and OCD. Bye, Lynn.
Bye, Robin.
everybody.
It's us, Blair and Molly, your old pals from Toddler Purgatory. Two moms who are also actors, who are also creative beings, who sometimes feel stuck.
And now we're back with a whole new podcast about unsticking it, launching in January. What happens when life gets in the way of our creativity instead of nourishing it?
We talk to all sorts of guests about how to break through the mucky, gluey, sticky wall that can get between you and your creativity. We hear about their journeys, their successes, their challenges, and even their bougie coffee shop orders.
So, join us, won't you, as we deep dive into how to unstick ourselves from the life gunk that can get in the way of our creative freedom.
Get out of there, life gunk.
Let us help you get back to your best creative self. Look for Unsticking It with Blair and Molly.
Wherever you listen to podcasts, starting in January.
Unsticking It with Blair and Molly, because sometimes life sucks.
Unsticking